So today workshop about boost your leadership quality. So we will start it.
So do I have the floor now?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Um,
Okay.
Thank you once again, Goldsmith Institute of Research, Professor Bregash Priya and the team. I want to also subscribe to the saying that teamwork actually makes the dream work. And I am there because part of the of strong opportunity from amidst the hundreds and thousands of other people who are equally fit to make a presentation on this subject matter. For being selected to present is a grace. So I want to unflinchingly and unabatedly thank you, GIAR, for the opportunity, and to all the participants that have joined this virtual workshop. I want to appreciate your coming, and I believe that our engagement will be worthwhile. And as we go along, can we mute ourselves if we are not presenting, please? Okay, thank you very much for that understanding. So I want to appreciate all of you for being here. And as rightly presented by Priya, our virtual workshop for today is benched on the topic boosting leadership qualities. Boost, which means there is something, but we have to work on it to improve and make it better. We are all leaders in our different ways, but then let us get to know some of the things we can add to our knowledge in order to boost our leadership qualities. This is a very sensational topic to be discussed, and for that reason, I will take you through brief my content of presentation. You can please take note. We shall be having a pretest. The pretest is a thought-provoking questions that will be coming up to get us understand how the presentation will be going. And we shall be talking about what is leadership, to be specific. When we say leadership, what does it mean? What does that term leadership mean? And then I am also going to take you through the various styles of leadership. When we say leadership, we have got it in different folds, in different styles. So I am going to take you through on the different styles of leadership. And then we are also going to underscore the differences between a leader and a boss. Most often the time, we've got issues of misconception about who a leader is and who a boss is, and what actually creates the line of difference between the two. We are going to also discuss the qualities of a good leader. We are all leaders, like I said, in our respective ways. But then we are also going to talk about some of the key, because we have got several barrage of qualities people can get. But we are going to look at some key qualities that you should have, that you should that you should attribute to be qualified and called a good leader. We are also going to discuss the rule of leadership. Leadership, like any other game, has got its own rule. So we are going to discuss what are the rules when we talk about leadership. And interestingly, I will give you a very short and succinct story about leadership. And then we are going to briefly talk about some of the ways you can be a good in your career. in organization, in your country, in your continent, and in the world at large. We are also going to talk about the leadership. And don't. In this way, I can what after that particular part of the presentation, we are going to get a full test. So the first test is also a thought-provoking question line that gives you an insight and one with my statements. Now, let me give you the pretest. Please take note on these questions. Pretest number 1. Who do you admire best in terms of leadership in the world? That is a general question for all of you. Be thinking around it. Who is your best admirer? It could be your sister, it could be a family member, it could be a friend, it could be a politician, it could be somebody who is a philanthropist, but you must have somebody you are admiring in terms of leadership. And then the second question is a leader born? A leader born a time. Some people say leaders are made. So now to your own thoughts, is a leader born or leader made? Another question which should be thrown is, are there bad leaders? Because one of leadership aspects, but then let us ask ourselves, do we see bad leaders in our community? And then the next question is, are you selfless? Are you that kind of a person that does not only think about your very self, but think about the society, you think about your friends? The next question is, do good leaders have weakness? So you've got what we call basic SWOT analysis. The SWOT analysis is a personal examination of the strength, the weakness, the opportunities, and you get to action. And then as we go along, you get to know, yes, they do have. So the next question is, what are the 3 major strengths you have as an individual or as a participant? Leadership. The next question is, do you believe in transformation? Do you believe that there is anything called transformation? That something disruptive could be transformed into something appreciative? The next, but not the last question is, what you are currently doing. If you are a student, if you are an associate, or if you are problem, I in action. I leave you with all of these questions to ponder, to think, and to rethink, such that we have an insight as to whether you are a leader, or you are turning into a leader, or you are on the path of being a leader. Now, to what is leadership? When we talk about leadership, a leader is one who knows the way. Yes, you as a leader, you have to get an understanding of what is the way moving forward. You need to understand the path that could be followed. You need to understand the direction that could be followed in order to get to an identified goal. So when you know the way, you don't just know the way, but you go the way. As a leader, it is expected in the aspect of leadership that in terms of leadership, a leader is that person that goes the way and shows the way. We've got often a time, people will tell you, go this way, but they don't want to go there. And enough of the time, people will just point at the direction, but they will not move in that trajectory. So, When we talk about effective leadership, is the capacity, is your ability, is your potentiality to transform vision into reality. Every human being who wants to be a leader should have the ability, the capacity, the potentiality to transform, to move away from being a visionary person to being a realistic achieving person. So you must be able to translate your vision into reality. Leadership is the aspect of unlocking people's potential to become better. This is not just about you. When we talk about leadership, we are talking about a process in which you make people become very better, and in fact, even better than you are, by making them unlock their potential, even in research, in mentorship, in coaching. How do you make your subordinates? How do you make your followers transform into being the better version of you? That is leadership. And let me also get you to this understanding that the key to successful leadership today is influence and not authority. How you influence somebody, how you persuade the organization, how you influence people to follow you, but not forcing them to do so. How do you set the pace such that people can follow you? So in all of these definitions of leadership tied to effectiveness, it clearly means leadership is a calling for you to self-serve the people, unlock their potentials, and turn visions into reality. Now, let us take the definition of leadership as provided by Livingstone, C.I. Bernard, Key, et al., and others. Leadership, according to them, is the art of influencing people to attain group objectives willingly. Now, this definition simply means the art. The art means it is a process, it is a culture. People to actually attain group objectives. When we say group objective, we are talking about a shared goal, a shared vision, a shared aim, something that we all have in common. How you influence people to objectively achieve a goal together as a team defines leadership. And when we talk about a leader, it could be a minister of state. A leader could be a captain on a playground like a football pitch. It could be a coach. A leader could be a teacher. A leader could be a father. It could be the mother. It could be anybody. Anybody has that responsibility to actually create and influence positively to achieve a goal by turning visions into reality. So leaders are in all walks of life. You don't just find leader in political positions. And this is something I really want to bring to your attention. Most often the case, youths of our day are and tied to that naive thinking that leaders are politicians. Politicians are types of leaders, but they are not just, leadership is not just limited to politics or politicians. You can be a leader even as a religious head. If you are a religious head in your religious doctrine, you are a leader in that particular domain. So leaders will be found in all walks of life, not just the politicians, not just the high-ranking governments, but even to the grassroots level, at organizational level, community level, like we have the GIAR, the GoldSmith Institute of Advanced Research. We have our leaders. I am one of the leaders. I am the deputy ambassador for research in my country. I am a leader in that respect. So basically, let me take you to the styles of leadership. Like I said, leadership is in different folds. We've got leadership in different folds. And one of the leadership styles we have is the autocratic. Take note, the autocratic leadership style. The autocratic leader, this is a pound on people to do something. Like, you have to do this. It is autocratic. You don't have to seek the consent of your followers. You don't have to seek the consent or approval of anybody. You are just autocratic in your own way, like putting things to the way you want it. So that type of leadership style is what we call autocratic leadership. In this leadership style, I just come in the class, I ask you, come and solve the problem on the blackboard, or come and solve this mathematical problem. That's autocratic lifestyle. I could ask, by right, I should ask, can you solve this problem? Please come and solve it. Yes, that is the way you attract or you influence. But if I just bump into the class and say, define me, you are being autocratic style of leadership. And then we have what we call laissez-faire leadership. Laissez-faire is a French borrowed word, understand? And when we talk about laissez-faire leadership, this is the type of leadership wherein you give people the chance to do what they want to do. You give your subordinates the chance to innovate. You give your followers the chance to bring into art creativity. Wherein, whether they do this or they do this, you're okay. You are not too conscious of people doing what you want, but you give them the opportunity to actually do what they feel is best. That is laissez-faire style of leadership. And then we have what we call democratic style of leadership. So democratic style of leadership is where you allow the people to act projections and one opinion. You give your opinion. That is the leadership. And then we have what we call transformation. In a presentation, I asked the question, transformational leadership, it is very essential most times when it comes to disruption. Now, this type of leadership is a case wherein you move a certain case or experience from the normal to a new trajectory. From the normal to the main view, leadership is what we call transformational leadership. And then when we talk about the other type of leadership, we are talking about transactional leadership. So transactional simply talks about issue around money or issue around sales, finance. So this type of leadership, it is actually great to be manifested by sales personnel, people who are into entrepreneurship, people who are marketers, people who are sales personnel, people who are, agents who are into business. They exhibit what we call transactional leadership. In this type of leadership, you must be able to be persuasive to meet your profit goal, to meet your economic goal. And then we have what we call situational leadership. Situational leadership actually is an inconsistent form of leadership. This type of leadership, you always profile actions, you always bring into play. They are dynamic. Let me bring it clear to you. The type of leaders that are situational leaders, they are dynamic. They can do anything based on the situation on hand. We've got certain leaders, if it comes to chaos, they can be very chaotic. We've come to certain leaders, when it comes to morality, they can be very moral. So they give you the energy, they give you the information, they give you the action based on the situation on hand. So the type of situation they have on hand is the type of decision, is the type of leadership they exhibit. These types of leadership is what we call situational leadership. Based on the situation, that is how I respond. That is situational leadership. And then we've got what we call strategic leadership. From the word strategy. Strategy means you have a well-designed map to achieving a goal, a mission, or an objective. That type of leadership wherein you strategize for that particular purpose is what we call strategic leadership. We have people who are coaches. We have mentors. We have people who are peace builders. These are all different styles of leadership. So the different styles of leadership actually falls in different fields. There are certain fields you have to exhibit transformational. There are certain fields you have to exhibit list of, do not forget, is what we call servant leadership. What is servant leadership? Servant leadership is not far from being volunteerism. Our volunteers are leaders. Let me bring this to your knowledge. Servant leadership is when you don't put yourself as the first priority. Servant leadership is when you have others' interests. Servant leadership is when you put the interest of others above yourself. It is not about you when you are a servant. It is about others. So servant leadership actually revolves around voluntarism and being very, very service-driven. So meeting the needs of your followers, meeting the needs of your subordinates, meeting the needs of your subjects. That kind of a leader is a servant leader. Okay? So we go to the next item on our presentation, which has to talk about the differences, the key differences between a boss. I am a boss. And somebody who says, I am a leader. So we try to differentiate. We try to create, to map the difference between who is a boss and who is a leader. You know, in our workplace, in our school, in our organization, we have got different experiences when it comes to defining the leadership potential, the leadership of a colleague. The boss will say, I am the man behind the success of our journey. Yes, the boss will say that. But a leader will say, we are the people behind the success of this journey. So, one of the differences is the boss takes the praise, whilst a leader gives the praise to the team. I hope we are getting it. The boss takes the praise, whilst the leader gives. We, it's the team. Remember, in my opening statement, I said teamwork makes the dream work. So, whilst a boss takes credit, the leader gives credit to team members. The leader will say, whoa, congratulations, Brigesh, you made this presentation very good by bringing in Benjamin. Yes, that is a leader statement. But then a boss will say, congratulations to myself. Brigesh should just congratulate himself. Congratulations. With our present our own credit, and then a boss micromanage. When we micromanage, the boss wants to do everything. A boss, they don't want to delegate responsibility. They want to do everything. They should be the secretary, they should be the ambassador, they should be the CEO, they should be the organizer, they should be the scribe, they should be the finance. They want to micromanage everything. That is the boss. But when we talk about a leader, he or she delegates responsibility. He or she decentralizes the functions of his organization, of his institution, to different people to participate. That is a leader. You know, when we started the presentation, a boss will just say, no, Priya, I don't think GoldSmith is the best. This GoldSmith is not good for this presentation. We should have used Zoom. We should have used Zoom prior, not Google Meet. Google Meet is not good. Yes, the boss will say that. But a leader will say, prior, this is very good. I think this one is very fine. We can just encourage our participants to join. The Google Meet is also fine. We can use it when we don't have the Zoom. I think this is very fine. Thank you. That will be the statement of a boss. So the boss will discourage you and appreciate. The other thing is a boss will focus on the weakness. The boss will not look at your strength. When I started my presentation, I made very clear that every human being should be able to conduct a SWOT analysis of your very self. The SWOT analysis, one is your strength, your weakness, your opportunity, and your threat. So, the boss never focuses on strength of an individual in a team. They always look to the weakness of that person. Probably Priya is the shy person, and that is why her video is not turned on, and then the boss will just focus on that weakness. But then the leader will not focus on the weakness. The leader will focus on the strength. At least Priya was able to organize us here. So the boss will focus on the weakness of team members, whilst the leader will focus on the strength. Now, another strong difference between a boss and a leader is this. A boss will blame others for misfortune. A boss will always blame others when things go wrong. A boss will always tie the blame on others when results are not achieved. But a leader, on the other hand, will take responsibility when things go the wrong way. We say, okay, it's able to achieve, but it's a very good try. So the leader takes responsibility, whilst the boss will just blame others. Oh, really, guys, I think what you did was not wrong. That is why we are not able to get a lot of participants. You did not try. They will blame. Bosses will blame people. They will blame. They will not take responsibility. They will always blame. And then the boss will direct people to do something. You have to do this. You have to do this. But they will not coach them. They will not mentor them. They will not train them to do it. Whilst a leader will train you, will coach you, will mentor you based on the mentorship I got from Brigesh. I was encouraged. I was highly encouraged by him. I wanted to decline at some point because I was shy and I was thinking, my time and all. But then he encouraged me to do so. And that is a leader. He does not direct. I am an ambassador. He could have just said, Benjamin, this is your responsibility. You have to do it in that direction. But he did not do like that. He said, Benjamin, can you please come up for this? And he was able to encourage me. That is how a leader performs. The last simple difference between a leader and a boss is when we talk about a boss, they always inspire fear in you. They make you feel afraid of doing something. You feel they don't give you the zest. They don't give you the courage that you can do it. So they always inspire that fear of incompetence in you. Whilst a leader will always inspire enthusiasm. When we say enthusiasm, it is a strong interest to do something. So the leader will inspire your interest to do it, whilst the boss will always inspire fear in you to not even try it. So I leave you with those differences between a boss and a leader, and I hope you already took note. Now, of the qualities. When I say quality, I mean quality of a good leader. I know, and certainly I understand, we know most of these, but let me just reaffirm for the purpose of this presentation. When we look at the characteristics of leaders, we have got basically two things we look at. We have what we call leadership aptitude, and then we have what we call leadership attitude. When we talk about leadership aptitude, we are talking about those inborn traits, those inborn characteristics that you are naturally born with. And then when we talk about leadership are the behavioral ethics you adopt in order to exhibit your action. Now, some of the characteristics of a good leader. 1, a good leader must have integrity. Yes, integrity. When I say integrity, I mean self-respect. When I say integrity, accountability. So a good leader must be somebody who has integrity for himself and for his organization or her organization. Integrity is number 1. When you have integrity, you can be accountable. When you have integrity, you can be transparent. When you have integrity, you can be committed. Another thing is a good leader always have the characteristics of delegation. Like I rightly stated just now, a good leader will always try to delegate responsibilities to others so that they can learn, because it's not all about you, it's about what people can do when you are not around. So, a good leader delegates responsibility and trains people to do something. Another quality of a good leader is communication. You know, some people will tell you, words are bullets. What you say, the things we say, they are bullets. They can either make somebody who communicates friendly, who communicates in the most respectful manner to his subject, despite the difference in their position. Another key characteristic or quality of a good leader is self-awareness. When I started the presentation, in the definition of leadership, I made mention that a leader should know the way. Knowing the way means you have self-awareness. So a good leader should be aware of what is happening and what could be done in order to achieve a particular goal. Another key characteristic is the aspect of gratitude. When we say gratitude, we are talking about paying homage of satisfaction and respect. Being indebted. When we say indebtion, it's like being grateful. A good leader, you should be grateful. There is no man who is an island. No man is an island. You always need people. You need people to achieve whatever thing you're doing. If you are a businessman, you need people to buy your product. If you are a teacher, you need people you can teach. If you are a politician, you need people you can politicize to. If you are a governor, you need people who you can govern. So everything about what we do is surrounding people. So showing that sign of gratitude, that sign of indebtion, that sign of being very loyal to, being very grateful is a sign of a good leader. A good leader will always show respect and homage to the people. Another thing is your learning agility. When we say learning agility, we mean your ability to actually learn despite the aspect of you not being satisfied. Let me bring you this quotation. If you want, and you must be willing to teach. These are the two things you have to take into consideration. Because when you teach people, you are increasing their knowledge. When you teach them, you are increasing their knowledge. And that will stay with them forever, and they will remember you for life. And when you learn, you are actually improving on your own knowledge. So, a good leader will always be willing to learn even from the least person in the organization. Even the least person in the organization will be willing to learn from you, and you will be also willing to learn from them. Another thing is influence. A good leader should be able to influence his or her subordinates or subjects. You cannot force them. You cannot force them to do something, but you can influence them, persuade them, encourage them to do so. And let them see reason, justifiable reason to do something. That is the sign of a good leader. And a good leader should also be empathetic. Empathy. When we say empathy, what do we mean? Empathy is a situation carrying yourself shoe. How do you feel if he was in your shoe? That sign of feeling the pain, feeling the joy of others, like you are the person in question, is what we call empathy. The aspect of being empathetic is another quality of a good leader. A good leader will always have that sign of empathy to the followers. And last but not the least is courage and respect. People will fail. Let me tell you this. In leadership, you can fail. And you see, failure has two different meanings. Either you face it all and you achieve it, or you fear it all and you run away. So, the courage to always on when you take the courage to move for something you want to achieve is a sign of leadership. If I want to be a medical doctor, I failed my first exam. That does not mean my goal should fail. That does not mean my mission should fail. I have failed, but I can still be the medical doctor I want to be. And as a good leader, you must be able to be courageous. You must build courage anytime you fail, because failure is inevitable. We can always fail in life. People will all fail to a leader. We have heard the story of Albert Einstein, right? He conducted more than 1,000 failed experiments. And the 1,001st was the light we are enjoying now. Yes, he failed. But as a leader, he did not give up. He had the courage to move on. And that is why today we are enjoying his own result. We look at the case of people trying to do business, people trying to establish their own farms. They fail. But they continue. They keep on putting more effort. And at the end of the day, they achieve it. And the last is respect. Please, participants, take this into consideration. Respect is one of the most important things you can always give to people, and they will never forget you. So be very honest with you. You see, respect, you cannot buy respect. Respect is earned. When we talk about respect, it is earned. People don't buy respect in the shop. You cannot go to the warehouse, you cannot go to the supermarket, you cannot go to the mini market to say, I want you respect. Respect is what you earn, and what you earn is what you give. So if you want to be respected, you must respect others as a leader. Learn to respect your subordinates. Learn to respect people below your level. Learn to respect all social lives and social values. Learn to respect every culture, because every culture has its own unique definition. Now, let us quickly move to the next item on our presentation. We talked about it's like a game, it's like a game. So, So every game, there is a rule. Leadership has its own rules. And one of the golden rules of leadership is guidance. Yes, guidance. As a leader, you should understand that people are not always perfect. People are not always knowledgeable as you are. People will not know everything at the same time. People always have knowledge gap. That is why we have research. And that is why we have GIAR. We are here to actually deepen into more findings in terms of scientific, socio-economic research. Investigate listening. That is the aspect. So one of the golden rules of leadership is guidance. You should be able to always profile. You should be always able to give guidance to your followers. Guide them. Brigesh, this is what you can do. Priya, okay, I think you can do this. Okay. Mr. Rohit, the subordinate. You need to guide the people around you. Kumar, I can just, okay, Kumar, if you want to do this, this is what you have to do. This is how you guide your people. And in guiding them is a form of leadership. Another golden rule is solution. I know, like Africa, even India, you have problems. And not just India, every part of the world, they have own different way. When micro-humanity, do not look at one, but look at the opportunity to solve the problem. It's a form of leadership. So that is another rule. The rule of leadership is solution. You should always be, as a leader, be able to provide solutions to problems in your course of leadership. Another golden rule of leadership is goal. GOAL. Yes, a leader must have a goal because it is your goal that gives you to achieving the objectives. Every leader must have a leadership goal. Now, what is the goal of this particular workshop? Yes, it is a question as a leader I have to ask. The goal of this workshop is to kind of get all of us informed, is to increase our knowledge, is to improve our level of discussion, is to create a boundary learning experience. Leadership should always have a leadership goal. And the other golden rule is motivation. Yes, motivation. No man actually gets to do everything all alone. You should have something that motivates you. You should have something that gives you the enthusiasm. You should have something that gives you the energy. You should have something that gives you the push. Yes, that is what we call motivation. So as a leader or in leadership, motivation is a rule. You must be able to motivate your followers. You must be able to motivate your subordinates. You must be able to motivate your subject. You don't want them, but you even saying thank you. You did a good job. It's a form of motivation. If I just come and say, please pardon my pronunciation, Abhishek, if I'm correct, I can just, Abhishek, thank you very much for connecting today. Your presence was very, very good. I think I need to have you in the next presentation. That is a form of motivation, which gives Abhishek the inspiration to be always present for our presentation. If I just come and say, Brigesh, what you did was a very good job. I think you can do better. I have motivated Brigesh. And Brigesh, we want to do more research in terms of leadership. Another is communication. You must be able to communicate. A leader should not be somebody who does not talk, who does not write, who does not communicate. Communication is in different folds. We have oral communication, written communication, symbolic communication. We have different forms of communication. But the underlying thing here is you should communicate, whether orally, writtenly, symbolically, but you should communicate as a leader. And that is in leadership. Do not let delegate, okay? And then plan, P-L-A-N, planning. They say, there is this word we normally say in the university here. Failure to plan is planning to fail. Oh yes, when you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. And we have what we call the 6 P's. The 6 P's. Prior proper planning prevents poor performance. Yes. And then this is because as a leader or in leadership, you should always have a leadership plan. What do you want to achieve? Why do you want to achieve it? What can you do to achieve it? Who will that achievement benefit? How will you be remembered? This is all part of planning. It is all part of your plan. So in leadership, there are still in terms of leadership, you should have a vision. V-I-S-I-O-N. Vision. Yes. In the definition of leadership, I earlier on stated that you should be able to actually transform or translate your vision into reality. So, as a leader or in leadership, you must be a visionary. You should be in India and think of solving a problem in Sierra Leone. I should be in Sierra Leone and think of solving a problem in India. That is a vision. I should be able to think of solving a problem of the world, even if I'm in my village. Even if you are in your classroom. And it's a key rule in terms of leadership. Somebody is asking for the meaning of 6 P's. Prior proper planning prevents poor performance. Prior proper planning prevents poor performance. That is the meaning of the 6 P's. And then we go to the last but not the least rule of leadership. Direction. Direction. D-I-R-E-C-T-I-O-N. Direction. Which means in leadership, you should have a trajectory. You should have a line of movement. You should have a direction, whether lateral, whether ventral, whether horizontal. You have a direction in your leadership. What direction are you moving? Ask yourself, what direction are you moving to achieving your leadership goal? So that is a key rule in leadership. Direction is a key rule. That is why in my definition of leadership, I said a leader is one who knows the way, who shows the way and goes the way. So it means you must be able to know the direction, the trajectory, the line of movement. That is another rule of leadership. Now, to the very most interesting aspect, which is just a very short storyline about leadership. Once upon a time, there was a class with so many kids, and the class master asked those kids, and they were like, Kid A, just for the name of purpose, or like, I will just make an example of the names here on my dashboard. Priya, for example, Priya was in that class. Priya, do you still remember the name of your great father's father? Do you remember the name of your great mother's mother and mother's mother? And Priya was like, no, I don't know. I teacher, please, I don't know. I cannot, I don't know the name of my grandfather's father or my grandmother's mother. And then do you know the name of your grandparents, elder grandparents and brothers? And British was like, I just know the name of my grandparent, but I don't know the name of my grandparents' parents. So all of the students in the class, they never knew the names of those grandparents' parents. Then the teacher asked again, okay, now to this other question. Do you know an example was Hereford? And we are like, yes, we know Hereford, we read about him, the man who invented the vehicle, the automobile industry. And then another question. Do you actually know Nelson Mandela? And Nelson Mandela, oh yes, Nelson Mandela was the man who fight for the apartheid system in South Africa. And then he asked of so many other great people, and all of the children in the class actually subscribed that they've heard of those names. And then the teacher asked them, why do you remember the names of all those people who have lived for centuries? Do you remember prophets? And we are like, yes, I remember. Do you remember those who were actually the disciples? And we are like, yes, we remember their names and we know their names in fact. Why do you remember all of them, but you don't remember the names of your grandparents' parents? That gives you an impression that in life, if you want to be remembered, you don't live a life for yourself. Yes, do not live a life for yourself. When you live a life for yourself, when you are dead, you are no more, you go with your story. But when you live a life for others, when you solve societal problems, when you bring to the community good things, people will always remember even after decades, even after centuries, your name will always be on the good books of history and people will never forget you. So, the short story here clearly defines that people will always remember you based on your work, based on your problems and how you live your life. So the people in the class never remember the names of those great parents because they lived their own life for themselves and not for the society. But then we remember people who are actually not our family members. They are even not connected to our own continent. We still remember their names and even their good works because they lived a life for the society. So, as a leader or somebody being a good follower, you should be able to actually live a life that serves the purpose of humanity, that serves the purpose of society transformation, that serves the purpose of creating value to the lives of people around us around you. And that defines in true sense who a leader is. A leader can never die. Yes, a leader never dies. Because when you die, your work will live. When you die, your development will live to showcase. When you die, your innovation will still solve problems. When you die, your solution will still solve the problems at hand. So, leaders only go to sleep. Yes, leaders only go to sleep, permanent sleep. But they don't die because we have what we call simulacrum. Simulacrum. Simulacrum is actually an imagery of representation. It's an imagery of representation. So when you are a good leader, your work, your solution, your leadership footprint, your leadership blueprint, your leadership strides, your leadership actions are your simulacrum. Yes, they are your simulacrum. These are the things people will remember you for. And that is the core concept of leadership. Being remembered even when you're okay. So, short story definition
Please,
and many
sir,
other things I have
stop.
explained. Now, how can one be a good leader?
You
So,
have been talking
let
since
me tell you this.
1 hour.
Please don't interrupt. Don't interrupt.
Hello?
Yeah, please continue. Continue, please.
Okay. All right.
He is a
Thank you
robot.
very much.
Please don't interrupt.
Are we so?
Yeah. Please
How
continue.
can
Continue,
one
please.
be a
Talking
good
since
leader?
1 hour.
How can one be a good leader? One of the ways you can be a good leader is by lifting others. Is by always making sure that others rise. Is by making sure that others become a better version of themselves. If you are in class, I am going to improve, you've impacted my life. That is a sign of leadership, and that is one way you can be a good leader in terms of research as a student. Another way you can be a leader as a student is being very positive and being very advisory to your colleagues. You see somebody suffering from mental health, somebody suffering from psychological problems. How can you advise that person? How can you counsel? How can you counsel that person? It's a form of leadership. It does not mean when you say leadership, you have to be the best. No, a leader is not even the best person in most cases, but it's always making sure others become better. As a leader, in leadership, you should be able to make others become better. So you cannot be the best. Priya, you cannot be the best. Saidu, you cannot be the best. Anil, you cannot be the best. But how can you become the better contributing to the terms of leadership? And another thing is attitude, our behavioral form of putting things. As a good leader, or if you want to become a leader, your attitude is one of the things you have to tailor. You need to take it to the tailor shop. You know the tailoring shop, right? Yeah. You need to take You have to cut the things. You put into practice those virtues, good practices that you can actually use to actually improve the lives and living conditions of your society. So attitude is the key thing you have to change if you want to become a leader. A leader is not somebody who is not optimistic. It is somebody who is optimistic. Sorry, you should not be pessimistic. As a good leader, your attitude should be optimistic. You should be hopeful. Okay? And there is this short statement. We are not a team because we work together. That is not teamwork means. Because we work together does not mean we are a team. We are a team because we respect, we trust, and we care for each other. These are two different things. Let me repeat that particular statement. Because we respect each other, we trust each other, and we care for each other. That shows the value of teamwork. Now, let me quickly round up this presentation because others want to sleep. I guess it's late already in India. I'm sorry. But let me just quickly take you through the do's and don'ts, and that will be the end for this presentation. So the things you don't do, let me just give you quick. Please, as somebody who wants to be a leader, do not listen to your ego, your pride. Do not be prideful. Kill your pride. Put your pride down. It's not about you being up. It's about making people be up. Okay? So do not listen to your pride, your ego, egocentrism, selfishness. Do not be that kind of a person. Do not be the type of a person that only wants to be I want to be the boss. I should be the always want to present first. You should not always be the star. Allow others to equally shine. Okay? Don't monopolize the solution. When it comes to problem solving, a good leader, you don't monopolize idea. We have different people with different ideas. How do we actually ideas and transform them into one solid solution that yours is always the best. Your own idea, your own opinion is the best. No, do not do that. When you are in class, Priya, when you are in class, any other person, please always allow others to share their own opinion. So see. Okay? And I should not say you should not smoke, but when you pass, I'm smoking. No, no. Gone are the days when we say, do as I say, don't do as I do. Now you have, as a leader, to let people do what you are doing. You should not just be theoretical or being very, very much over theoretical, but you have to be practical and pragmatic. Pragmatic means you have to be practical. If you are and you want others to be transparent, you have to be transparent. So you want to lead by an example as a leader. Okay? So we go to the post test. I'm almost done. The post test. One of the post tests question. A good follower. 2. Does leadership interest you? When we talk about leadership, does it actually interest you? 3. What is your greatest fear to take when it comes to leadership? What are you most afraid of? Are you shy to talk? Are you that kind of a person that actually has the problem of glossophobia? Are you the kind of a person that never wants to take the front seat when you go to program? No, okay, leadership. Another is, are you a problem solver or you are just a problem maker? We have problem solvers and we have problem makers, and then we have problem shooters. So the problem makers are people who actually cause problems to happen, and those who shoot, those who solves the problem are who we call problem shooters. So are you a problem shooter or are you a problem maker? The question number 5 is, what are you doing today that you can be remembered and celebrated for tomorrow? Remember the story. Our grandparents, parents, I don't know their names because they lived their lives for themselves. But I can still remember, and I will live to remember Brijesh. I will live to remember Priya. I will live to remember Smaila Seya. I will live to remember Mohammed Musa from Sierra Leone. These are people who are in the front line of leadership in my community. I will live to remember all of these people who have joined because they are making history. What are you doing today that we can remember you tomorrow? That is the last question. And my closing statement as my last slide. So be a leader is a decision you have to make. Being a leader, also being a leader, is a decision you have to make. It is a promise you have to fulfill. And it is a value you have to protect. So it is the decision you have to make if you want to be a leader. It is a promise you have to fulfill. It is a value you have to protect. And it is a legacy. When I say legacy, I mean blueprint. You have to leave behind that posterity, that unborn generation will remember you for. So today, I want to apprise all of you. I want to beseech all of you. I want to encourage all of you. I want to positively incite all of you to being good followers. Because if you are a good follower today, certainly you will be a good leader tomorrow. And at this particular juncture, I want to wish all of you that have patiently joined this international virtual workshop a happy new year in advance. And I want to say thank you, and Jugu, sorry for the sleep. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you, and I have to stop here. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you very much, Benjamin. It was really a very great experience with you. And I just want to welcome Africa. So Yusuf is here. Yusuf, please, can you introduce yourself? Yusuf, please introduce yourself once. Mr. Yusuf, yes. Shumela, can you introduce yourself? Mr. Shumela.
A wood a student of Jala University, a graduate. I'm happy and delightful to be part of this wonderful workshop. Of course, Benjamin Bokar is my crony and my academic guru. He has been very instrumental in his leadership charisma, and I do humbly respect him and I do follow him. I'm a good follower of him.
Thank you very much. Which university you are working?
And I will love being part of this particular vision.
Where you are working?
Sure, definitely, sir.
Which university you are working, Sumela? Mr. Sumela?
Pardon again?
Where you are working?
If I'm working, you mean?
Are you working in university?
No, currently I graduated with Benjamin. I'm currently my forestry company.
Thank you very
I'm
much.
a forester.
Yusuf, are you able to introduce? Yusuf.
Yeah.
Okay. And Agastya. Who is Agastya? Agastya Arunachal. Please unmute yourself. Agastya.
Hello, everybody. It was nice listening to Mr. Benjamin Sir. Got a very in-depth things about leadership. I'm basically a journalist and media man. And then employed that studentship should go over till we breathe our last. And this is my a
Sorry
very
to
good.
interrupt, sir. Can you please unmute your camera once? Turn on your camera.
Yeah, here I am.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. It was a very nice session. Thank you very much to Benjamin sir once again.
And I just want to know where you got link.
I'm in a group of Martin, so I got link from there.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir, for being here. And especially, I'm welcoming you here in our GIAR family. We are basically a research and development organization based on India and working towards around the world, basically. So I just want to once to actually,
I'm a book author, so that is my introduction in brief.
Okay. So where you are working especially?
I'm in NCR, Delhi NCR region.
Delhi NCR.
Yeah.
Which place,
So
sir?
basically, I'm freelancing. So I used to freelance for Madhya Pradesh. I used to freelance for DD Pakistan and for Sahara News Network at the moment.
Okay, sir. So you are based. Madhya Pradesh.
No, I'm basically from Bihar. Achal, a hope which never dies. That is the meaning
Okay,
of
sir.
the second part
Thank
of my
you very
work.
much, sir.
Thank you, Rajesh ji.
I will contact you soon.
Thank
Can
you.
you
Sure.
please share your
Yes.
number? Can you please share your number?
Can you write it down?
Yes, sure, sir. Just a minute. Yes, sir. Please.
98117
117
05525
05.
05535.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for being here once again.
Thank you.
And now, Dipanshu Kushwaha.
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you introduce yourself?
Yes, sir. I am the student of University. As you know, you are the
Very
teacher
good.
there.
And who's Dukhu Jaswal? Who is that?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Can you introduce yourself?
Actually, my name Benjamin says so 1.5 hour. So that's why I
Can you
was
unmute
telling
your
you
camera?
that he's continuously talking just 1.5 year, and some of student want to ask some question, and also you have I think you have asked one or two question between the
Sorry to
session.
interrupt. Sir, Agastya sir, you want to say something? Hello, sir. Agastya sir. Would you like to say something? Yeah.
Hello. It was a nice interaction. Got to know two things about the leadership. And
Okay.
one thing that I want to know that I will decide about different kind of leadership. How to decide in what condition which type of leadership is required.
Benjamin sir, over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Agastya. Agastya, thank you very much. So, to the type of leadership one can adopt, it's certainly depends to the type of issue, journalism, or in the case where you are working with students, of course, in research and all, in business as this. We've got the different styles of leadership, and you have to make a decision based on the type of people you are following. Like in a case where you've met a situation that is going in the wrong way, like people are suffering from one thing over like people in certain life that actually is not bringing any results. So that gives you the intent, that gives you the belief that you have to adopt what we call transformational leadership. Clear, so that you can actually transform the situation. Who seem not to understand, like people who are not very tied to your vision. Like in a case where you are dealing with people who actually still don't understand why it is important for you to achieve a certain goal, then you have to be autocratic. That means you ask them to do it. Like it's you give them to do this. So the type of leadership you can adopt actually swings with time based on the situation on hand and based on the kind of people you are dealing with and based on the kind of society you find yourself. Different people practice multiple. It is possible you can equally practice multiple of those leadership styles. Like for me, I am very situational in my leadership. I always give people the energy based on the case on hand. There are certain cases I can be very moral, so I respond to situations. So different type of leadership could be adapted based on the kind of people you are dealing with, based on the community or society where you find yourself, and based on your leadership goal. So I think that's what I have to say.
Thank you, Jamin sir. Great. I personally believe that leadership, the type of leadership can be changed according to the situation with the same community.
Kumar, can you please introduce yourself? Milendra Kumar. Mr. Nikhil Sen. And and those who are new here, especially. Mr. Kumar, Mr. Sachin.
Everyone,
Yes, Sachin.
Yeah.
Please introduce yourself.
Sir, I am from Bhopal.
Yes.
And study in Sagar College, Bhopal.
So I think you are a friend of Abhishek, right?
Sir, no, sir.
So how was the experience in today's session?
Sir, good session. I like.
Okay. So hope you will also join us soon,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And actually, I want to give encouragement and influence of.
Am I audible?
Yes,
Sir?
yes, Nikhil. Yeah, please. Would you like to say something?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. My name is Nikhil Sen. That you have asked me. My name is Nikhil Sen. I am a student of you, sir, and you have
Yeah,
you have
I'm
also
getting.
know that.
Yes, I'm getting.
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
Yes, sir. I am now living in Bhopal. That you have said that.
Yes, yes.
And sir is also very grateful energy to drive that this kind of leadership quality, and I have learned lots.
You're
of
right.
things.
And it's not only a single session. We are continuously organizing this type of workshop, okay, from India and abroad. So definitely, if you will join our team, you will get very great experience in research and development in engineering and science, right? Along with entertainment industry also. Agastya sir, I want to say you, we are also working in cinema, entertainment, fashion industry.
Yes,
That's
sir.
why yes. So I definitely,
I'm
you are saying that you are
actor.
acting,
I'm a dubbing artist.
you are a good
Hello.
writer and actor. So we will definitely
I've
contact you.
recently, yeah, I used to write both novels and reviews also. Recently, my novel "Phapchu Aaya Dilli Parne" that has been
Yes.
released. So the Amazon. I used to act and dub for the films.
No, sir. Actually, I'm not acting. Basically, I am from science side. But one of my colleague, Miss Karuna Tripathi, who is dealing with the cinematic universe, and we are
Okay.
working in fashion, beauty, and short movies, theater, and all these things. And
Yeah, short
we
movies.
want to
Short
need
movies is my favorite thing.
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. We are advisory council, and definitely we will get your experience in your life, what you got. So that will be very great for us, right? So
Sure, sir.
yeah.
Sure.
So thank you very much for everyone, and especially Benjamin sir. It was really very great experience to our students and all staff members, and hope you will continuously encourage our students in future also. Okay, and also people from your side, Sumaila, Yusuf, and all these people, and your friends, other friends, they will join us in our team, in our GIR family, and we will try to influence them, and we will try to give them research knowledge that will
I can tell.
great experience in their life, right? Thank you very much, but not more than you. You are really
Yeah,
very
my close
important.
ally, yeah, my compatriots.
Okay. So Akhilesh sir is also here. Might be. Akhilesh Richhania sir, welcome. Can you please unmute yourself? Sir, please.
I think
Akhilesh
Yusuf wants to
Richhania,
say
sir.
something. Yusuf?
Yes, Yusuf. Can you please unmute yourself? If you want to say something, Yusuf. Okay.
Hello.
Akhilesh sir, please unmute your camera.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Haji
Yes,
Brijesh
sir.
ji, good evening.
Please. Good evening, sir. How are you?
अभी एक्चुअली क्या है, मैं ना थोड़ा सा अदर जगह पे हूँ, तो थोड़ा बातचीत क्या है,
जी
तो बहुत अच्छा लगा। मैं काफी देर से जुड़ा भी हुआ था, बीच बीच में थोड़ा नेटवर्क इशू हो रहा है
जी
मेरे,
जी
तो इसलिए कंटिन्यू हो पा रहा हूँ। पर वाकई में मुझे जुड़कर और बहुत अच्छा इन्फॉर्मेशन अभी
Thank you very
जो
much, sir.
मिल रहा था, बहुत अच्छा जुड़ के, और मैं कंटिन्यू हूँ, शायद वो नेटवर्क की वजह से थोड़ा सा मुझे।
तो सर बेंजामिन सिया लियोन कंट्री है अफ्रीका में, वहाँ से बिलोंग करते हैं एंड ही इज रियली वेरी गुड हेल्पिंग हैंड्स एंड definitely he is helping for spreading in Africa and not only in Sierra Leone, even all over the countries in Africa, right Benjamin?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, so it was really a great experience with our students and intern staffs and other participants from India, and really everyone is very excited before you and after you in both case, right? And
Yeah, definitely.
yes, we will connect you soon with a new other than leadership.
College,
Yeah.
we have what we call an exchange programs.
Yeah,
exchange
definitely.
programs.
Definitely.
So that our students here can equally learn from corresponding areas.
Okay. So thank you very much for everyone.
Thank you so much. Priya, do you have anything to say?
Priya, you want to say something to Mr. Benjamin?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, Mr. Benjamin, for your precious
Yeah,
words
can you please-
about booster leadership.
Can you please unmute your camera once? If you can.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Benjamin, sir.
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah, you're audible.
I'm audible? Okay. Thank you for your precious word about both your leadership qualities. I hope we all are understand your efforts. So thank you very much for your presence here.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you very much.
You know,
Priya. Thank you so
you
much.
know our language, Hindi. Namaste.
Yeah, we normally watch your videos here, so we are used to Namaste.
Okay. Thank you very much. So thank you for Benjamin and your all team,
Yeah.
Shumela and Yusuf and all other people who are here, and be with us all, and definitely we will take care of all. So thank you very much.
Probably want to get a post. Vijay, can you just get a screenshot on your own computer or your?
Yes. I have recorded all the systems.
Yeah, but like everybody can now turn on camera and at least your bag, shoes, and then you get a photo of that.
Yes, sure.
Yeah, please. Can we all just?
Everyone, please unmute your camera. Just take a screenshot. Everyone.
Yeah. Everybody smile. Raj, can you smile? Okay, I think I have my own screenshot. It's okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Hi Yusuf, would you like to say something? Unmute yourself. Please unmute yourself. Yusuf, unmute yourself. Unmute yourself, Yusuf. Please unmute yourself. So okay everyone, it was really very great experience with Benjamin sir, and hope you had enjoyed the session and you got a great experience. And actually अभी जो इनका था ना, अभी जो बोल रहे थे ना इंग्लिश, वो समझ आ रही थी, है ना?
यस सर।
मतलब ये समझ में आ रही थी। इसका थोड़ा सा कम्युनिकेशन इश्यू हो रहा था, उनकी इंग्लिश उतनी समझ नहीं आ रही थी, बट अभी ये सेशन काफी अच्छा रहा। और सबसे बड़ी चीज थी, काफी एनर्जेटिक का सेशन हो रहा, काफी एनर्जेटिक थे सभी लोग, है ना? और स्पेशली जो स्पीकर थे, हम लोग सभी लोग कैमरे में नहीं थे, उसके बाद भी उनकी एनर्जी बिल्कुल लगातार एनर्जी थी। क्यों अनिल? अनिल सर?
एब्सोल्युटली सर।
हाँ, मतलब बहुत ही एनर्जेटिक, इतना एनर्जेटिक पर्सन आप 1 से सवा घंटे लगातार बोलना बड़ा मुश्किल हो जाता है। तो थैंक यू वेरी मच एवरीवन। अगस्त्य सर, थैंक यू वंस अगेन फॉर बीइंग हियर।
थैंक यू वेरी मच। आपका नंबर मुझे मिल गया, मैं आपको ही करता हूँ इस सेशन के बाद। वैसे मुझे लगता है बेंजामिन सर के लिए इतनी देर तक बोलना बड़ी बात नहीं थी, वो बेसिकली एक प्रोफेसर हैं, और प्रोफेसर तो आप जानते ही हैं, घंटे भर तो कम से कम आराम से डेली बोलता है।
यू आर राइट सर। नहीं, एक्चुअल में मुझे लगा था कि वो स्टूडेंट है, नहीं रिसर्चर है, और रिसर्च वर्क भी है उनका। प्रोफेसर तो नहीं है शायद, ही इज स्टूडेंट बेसिकली।
इंट्रोडक्शन में उन्होंने कहा असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर है कहीं पे, पता नहीं।
No, actually he is research scholar, he is doing research.
Okay.
Yeah
sir, I have a question sir.
हाँ बिल्कुल पूछिए निखिल।
मैं ये बोल रहा सर, क्या एक्चुअली क्या है, मैं अभी इधर नया हूँ, मेरा फर्स्ट डे है सर इधर, तो सर इसके बारे में क्या जानकारी वगैरह, यहाँ क्या क्या सीखने को मिलेगा, सब चीजें सर क्या क्या पता चलेगी?
नहीं, हम लोग का देखिए बहुत बड़ा नेटवर्क है, बहुत सारे प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं अलग अलग डोमेन में। वही हमारी टीम है इंडिया आपका डोमेन होगा, उसी पे हम काम करेंगे, जिस पे आप काम करना चाहते हैं ना, उसी के हिसाब से डिजाइन करेंगे सारी चीजें। आपका जो प्रोजेक्ट होगा, स्टूडेंट्स और के हिसाब से जो इंटर्न्स आते हैं ना, उनको इनके हिसाब से हम सारा कुछ प्लान करते हैं। और उससे पहले, सबसे पहले तो आपको मेंबरशिप लेनी चाहिए। हमारी मेंबरशिप है स्टूडेंट मेंबरशिप, प्रोफेशनल मेंबरशिप। तो यदि आप स्टूडेंट हैं, अभी स्टडी कर रहे हैं, तो हमारी मेंबरशिप लीजिए, हमारा मेंबर वेबसाइट विजिट करिए, वहाँ मेंबरशिप के लिए अप्लाई करिए। और सर्टिफिकेट मिलेगा, उसके बाद फिर हम आपको इंटर्नशिप के लिए ऑफर करेंगे, इंटर्नशिप ज्वाइन करिए। और इंटर्नशिप में यदि आपकी परफॉर्मेंस अच्छी रहती है, देन वी विल प्रोवाइड यू जॉब आफ्टर 6 मंथ, है ना? जितने भी इंटर्न्स हैं उनको 6 मंथ के बाद सबको रेगुलर जॉब मिल जाएगी, यहाँ पे सबको रेगुलर कर दिया जाएगा। इफ यू आर परफॉर्मिंग वेल, आपकी परफॉर्मेंस अच्छी रहनी चाहिए, है ना? क्योंकि हम 2023 में हमारे पास बहुत बिग प्रोजेक्ट्स आ रहे हैं काम करने के लिए। ये श्योर है कि सबको जॉब रेगुलर की। इंटरनेशनल मार्केट में थोड़ा सा इकोनॉमी डाउन हो रही है, ये बात सही है, लेकिन यदि हम थोड़ा सा कॉपी पेस्ट नहीं करेंगे लोगों को, दूसरी इंडस्ट्रीज को, तो हम सेफ रह सकते हैं, क्योंकि हमारे काम करने का प्रॉब्लम एक्चुअल में कहाँ है, ये भी एक प्रॉब्लम है, इट्स अ बिग प्रॉब्लम, है ना? इकोनॉमी डाउन हो रही है, ब्रिटेन ऑलरेडी परेशान है, ब्रिटेन की इकोनॉमी काफी ज्यादा डाउन जो प्रीवियस जो है अभी वहाँ पे न्यू प्राइम मिनिस्टर हैं और वो भी काफी सफर कर रहे हैं वहाँ की पब्लिक से, वहाँ की इकोनॉमी से। तो ये काफी चैलेंजिंग है। 2023-2024 काफी चैलेंजिंग है, स्पेशली आईटी सेक्टर के लिए काफी प्रॉब्लम हो सकती। यदि इकोनॉमी डाउन होती है, रिसेशन आता है, सबसे पहले आईटी वाले बाहर जाते हैं, तो थोड़ा सा संभल के रहना जरूरी है। हम दूसरे डोमेन में भी काम करें। और बेसिकली मेरा मानना यह है कि जहाँ पे आपको इंटरेस्ट, आप ट्रेंडिंग पे मत जाइए, जहाँ पे आपको इंटरेस्ट हो वहां पे काम करिए, आपको डेफिनेटली सक्सेस मिलेगा। क्योंकि आपका डिवोशन होगा तो सक्सेस जरूर मिलेगा। तो हम सिर्फ पैसे के पीछे जाते हैं या ट्रेंडिंग पे जाते हैं तो वहां पे एक सफरिंग सिस्टम हो जाता है और वो हमारी हेल्थ पे बैड इफेक्ट डालता है, हमारी मेंटल हेल्थ और फिजिकल हेल्थ दोनों पे इफेक्ट डालता है। और फिर वो कहीं ना कहीं बहुत सारी जो अभी आजकल रिसेंट में जो डिजीज हैं वो प्रॉब्लम्स आती हैं फिजिकली बॉडी में, और वो बहुत ही खतरनाक होता है। तो ओवरऑल कहने का मतलब ये है कि अपनी हैप्पीनेस, अपने गोल को, के गोल्स क्या हैं, आप क्या अचीव करना चाहते हैं, आप क्या बनना चाहते हैं। हम बेसिकली यहाँ पे आपको वो कल्चर प्रोवाइड करते हैं। आप क्या बनना चाहते हैं आप बताइए। हम आपको नौकर नहीं, आपको मालिक बनाना चाहते हैं, है ना। हम सपोर्ट करते हैं, आप जो बनना चाहते हैं वो बनेंगे आप, है ना। हम आपको रास्ता दिखाएंगे, बाकी आपको जो बनना है आप डिसाइड करें और डेफिनेटली आप बनेंगे, बन भी रहे हैं। अभी यहाँ पे बहुत सारे लोग, अभी यहाँ पे करुणा मैडम नहीं है, इंडस्ट्री के लिए प्लान किया था और प्रोग्राम्स प्लान कर रहे हैं और डेफिनेटली वो होगा ऑल इंडिया लेवल पे। और फॉरेन से डेलीगेट्स भी हम लोग इनवाइट कर रहे हैं और काफी खुश हैं वो। प्रिया मैडम यहाँ पे हैं। प्रिया मैडम का भी इंटरेस्ट है बिटवीन आईटी एंड बिजनेस, तो वो भी काफी अच्छा प्लान है उनका और वो अभी काफी अच्छी पोजीशन अचीव कर चुकी हैं विद इन 4 to 6 मंथ और बहुत ही बेहतरीन परफॉर्मेंस है उनका। अनिल सर यहाँ पे हैं, तो मल्टी कल्चरल एंड मल्टी माइंडसेट के कई जगह हेल्प करते हैं, तो काफी अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस है इनका भी। और होपफुली जो ये लाइफ में करना चाहते हैं, एक्चुअली ही आल्सो वांट टू बिकम अ बिजनेसमैन इन आईटी डोमेन, सो डेफिनेटली ही विल बी वन डे अंडर आवर गाइडेंस। क्यों अनिल सर, क्या एक्सपीरियंस है आपका अभी तक का?
बिल्कुल सर, एक्सपीरियंस अभी तक सर बहुत अच्छा है।
सानिया आपने ज्वाइन किया? अच्छा, सानिया सा, हाँ जी बोले। सानिया सा, अनम्यूट करें अपने आप को पहले। सानिया सा। राज, कैसा रहा आपका एक्सपीरियंस?
सर बहुत अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस रहा सर, बहुत अमेजिंग लगा सर।
तो होपफुली आगे भी हम ऐसे वर्कशॉप किया करेंगे।
यस सर, वी आर रेडी फॉर दैट सर। एंड
हाँ, अपने स्टूडेंट्स और इंटर्न्स को एक इंटरनेशनल कल्चर, देखिए पढ़ना आपके अंदर यदि मोटिवेशन आ जाए ना तो आप सब कुछ खुद से कर लोगे। हम सिर्फ ना बुक और एक टीचर का चेहरा देख देख करके बोर हो जाते हैं, सेम बुक सेम टीचर देख देख करके डेली डेली बोर हो जाते हैं। तो हम यहाँ पे कल्चर चेंज करना चाह रहे हैं। वीक में कोशिश करें कि हम लोग वीक में एक प्रोग्राम जरूर रखें जो कुछ नए टीचर्स इंडिया से या अब्रॉड से या ऐसी कुछ एक्टिविटीज वर्कशॉप करते रहेंगे हम, ताकि आपका एंटरटेनमेंट भी होता रहे और एक मोटिवेशन मिलता रहे आपको स्टडी करने के लिए। और जो इंटर्न्स हैं उनको वर्क करने के लिए, अपने गोल, अपने लाइफ, अपने ड्रीम्स के लिए आपको मोटिवेशन मिलता रहे। थैंक यू वेरी मच। यस यस
मैंने
सर।
एक एग्जांपल दिया था वो पेरेंट्स वाला,
हाँ हाँ
तो ना एक्सप्लेन करिए हिंदी में, मुझे समझ में नहीं आया।
नहीं बड़ा सिंपल सा था। उनका ये कहना था कि यदि आप ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स डेफिनेटली याद नहीं होगा, बहुत ही कम लोग होते हैं जो ऐसा रिकॉर्ड रखते हैं, तो उनका कहना था। और बहुत ही बेहतरीन एक्सपीरियंस है में। Actually, he is also student leader in his university. That's why he has very good knowledge and experience. उनके माइंड में जो क्लैरिटी है लीडरशिप को लेकर के बहुत ही अच्छी है, क्योंकि वो ऑलरेडी एक लीडर हैं, अपने स्टूडेंट यूनियन का जो है लीडर है ऑलरेडी, है ना। इसलिए उनको उनके माइंड में इतनी अच्छी क्लैरिटी है चीजों को लेकर के, समझते हैं कि लीडरशिप क्या होती है ना। Anyone else want to say something? प्रियंका सोन मैम, कैसा रहा आपका एक्सपीरियंस?
सर बहुत अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस था, काफी चीजें समझ में क्लियरिटी आ रही थी, पर कुछ चीजें थी जो समझ में नहीं आई क्योंकि सर बहुत फास्ट बोल रहे थे।
इसका मतलब ये बिल्कुल है कि आपको कम्युनिकेशन और स्ट्रॉन्ग करना चाहिए।
यस सर।
राज,
और बहुत अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस था सर, लीडरशिप के बारे में बहुत अच्छा एक्सप्लेन किए सर।
हाँ हाँ, तो आप जिन एग्जाम देना है अभी अपने इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज अकेडमिया का, तो वो लोग जरूर अपनी लिसनिंग कैपेबिलिटी बढ़ाएं। यहाँ पे मेन लर्निंग की आपको लिसनिंग कैपेबिलिटी, इंटरनेशनल स्पीकर को आप कैसे समझ सकते हैं जानना जरूरी है। जब तक आप इंटरनेशनल स्पीकर, हाँ इंटरनेशनल स्टैंडर्ड्स होता है स्पीकिंग का, वो समझ नहीं पाएंगे तो आप एक इंटरनेशनल लीडर नहीं बन पाएंगे। इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे कैसे लीड करेंगे, इंटरनेशनल प्लेटफॉर्म पे कैसे आप स्पीच देंगे, ये आप देखिए बेंजामिन से कहीं भी किसी सामने भी खड़ा कर दिया जाए तो ये डरने वाली
यस
है ना। और एक्सेंट कम्युनिकेशन जो है इनका भी काफी अच्छा है,
बहुत अच्छा
हम
सर।
लोग भी
तो
समझ पा रहे थे।
हम लोग कुछ कह नहीं सकते अपने शब्दों में, इतना अच्छा एक्सप्लेन किया सर।
बिल्कुल सही बात है।
यस सर।
ठीक है, ओके, थैंक यू वेरी मच। टाइम काफी ज्यादा हो चुका है, 10 बज चुके हैं। हाँ अनिल सर, रिकॉर्डिंग स्टॉप कर दीजिए, आप शायद भूल गए हो।